everyone, and welcome to the 30 Days Summit, where Russell Brunson has brought together a collection of his top 2 Comma Club and 8-figure award winners, sharing with you how they would literally survive and begin to rebuild their business in just 30 days if they lost it all. My name is Bailey Richard, and I'm delighted to bring to you right now a conversation with Jeremy Mcgilvrey. Jeremy has completely disrupted the marketing industry with his seemingly magical ability to help entrepreneurs quickly flood their websites, landing pages, and offers with massive amounts of cheap and targeted prospects that easily convert into leads, sales, and profit. Using Jeremy's innovative techniques, startups as well as established business owners are able to generate an endless flood of warm, cheap, and targeted leads on demand. Mcgilvrey uses what he calls word-of-mouth marketing on steroids to make cold traffic a thing of the past. The warm traffic generated by Mcgilvrey's new methods and techniques are exponentially easier to turn into both leads and sales. The Huffington Post has called Jeremy a brilliant entrepreneur, but he didn't earn that type of praise overnight. It took years of pain, suffering, and frustration for Jeremy to get where he is today. And now it's his mission to help other entrepreneurs completely bypass the struggles he endured and to help them create massive success online in record time. So Jeremy, welcome to the summit.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you, and I'd love to kick things off actually with a question about your background, because while this 30 days hypothetical scenario might never really come to fruition for so many of the people that I am interviewing as a part of this event, you, however, have lived it. So I was wondering if just briefly you wouldn't mind sharing with us a little bit about your story.
In 2009, I ran hedge funds and had a large financial planning practice. Some issues arose inside of there that massive problems came when the markets came tumbling down, and I lost everything, including my freedom, for a short amount of time. And so going from a multimillionaire to somebody who had absolutely nothing, who had to rebound, who had to start over again, turning a major setback into a comeback was definitely not easy. But I loved it when Russell reached out to me and asked if I would share if I had to start with nothing. I said, I am the perfect person to share with people what you need to do when you literally have nothing, no money, no resources, no name, no anything. Then what do I need to do to kind of stage my comeback? And I put a lot of time and effort into this. I hope that people that get a chance to learn the strategies I would share think to themselves, wow, I can actually do this. I can stop shooting in different directions and getting nowhere. I can follow this strategy and finally have success. So I know exactly what it means to lose it all and figure out how to build it back up.
Well, Jeremy, that's an incredibly inspiring story, and I thank you for being willing to share that with us. What I'd love to do now is to start diving into your 30-day plan, and I'd love to actually begin all the way at the beginning on day 1. You say, aside from turning off all notifications to stay focused on your work and setting a financial goal for yourself, you would focus in on a niche. Now, that word is something that most of us have all heard before, but in your 30-day plan, you actually refer to a niche more specifically as an HCBA, or Hungry Capable Buying Audience. What is that exactly, and why is it so important?
Sure. You want to make certain that you position your solution to solve a problem to people that can afford to pay you for that problem. And, just touching base a little bit, I think a reason why a lot of people don't succeed in a lot of attributes of life is they're addicted to distractions and they spend major time on minor stuff. The most important thing is to not get addicted to distractions. Don't chase shiny objects and really focus in on the things that will have the largest impacts. I believe that there's a lot of people out there looking for solutions, looking to take the dream that's been placed in their heart and share it with people, whether it's their products and services that will bring a lot of value to others and really change their lives. But the problem is the vessel to get that marketing message to the market and do it in a way where you're not trading your time for money, where you can scale and you can leverage. And so knowing that I have nothing to work with in this hypothetical situation that Russell gave me, I do know that there's people in the fitness industry that are constantly working their tail off, trying to share ways to get fit, trying to share ways to lose weight, trying to share ways to, live a happier, healthier life. Because that's the one thing about all of our time. Once our time is spent, it's gone forever. And that's those small choices that we make that change everything. And so having that hungry buyers, I know that fitness people are constantly looking for ways to put their videos in membership areas. They're constantly looking for ways to have a selling system. They're constantly looking for ways to generate leads so that way they can share all this hard work that they've learned with those people to help them have a higher quality of life. So that would be my segment that I would choose, would be the fitness niche.
Awesome. I do appreciate you giving a more thorough explanation of that HCBA, Hungry Capable Buying audience, because I think so many people who are just starting out choose a niche that they're passionate about and don't necessarily investigate whether or not that niche is going to be full of buying audience members. Definitely something important to keep in mind. Okay, I'd love to continue moving on to the remainder of your first week of your plan. You do so much during that first week, but one of the most important things is figuring out how you're actually going to reach your financial goals. What product are you going to sell? And in your plan, you say that you are going to sell a done-for-you funnel. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that, specifically why you chose it and what your strategy is there.
Sure. I selected almost a dollar amount when we're surveying people and trying to figure out what's the dollar amount that you would need to generate per month to feel successful online. And so often people come back with the $10,000 or they say $100,000 a year, which we both know that that's $120,000 a year. But for some reason, that's just what's in their mind. If I could just generate $10,000 a month, I would consider myself successful and I wouldn't have to go build somebody else's dream. I could build my own. And so that was the number I selected for people. And I broke it down in a step-by-step blueprint that shows you the most simplistic way in the world to generate that $10,000. Now, I believe, again, sales funnels, and there's a quote that says, when you're in the jar, you can't read the label. So many of us that have been involved in Russell Brunson's culture, Todd Dickerson's culture, is we believe that everyone knows what a funnel is. Nothing could be further from the truth. People still think they need websites. People are still sending traffic to YouTube and not capturing their emails, not capturing the leads whatsoever. And so having a product that you could teach people how you send people through a sequence of events to get their information, to understand the fortunes and the follow-up, and then my, I guess, biggest thing when it comes to online marketing is I practice what I teach and I am my own best customer. I think too many people are trying to do stuff for others that they can't do for themselves. And so when I'm selling this done-for-you funnel to these fitness people, this buyer segment that I've chosen, I'll show them, do you realize what got you into my world is the exact same thing that you can use to get fitness people into your world? So do you think this stuff works? Do you think this stuff will work for you? And that would be the psychology that I would use, again, because I always want to be my own best customer.
Okay, makes a ton of sense, but now I think the question is, how are you getting people into that funnel in the first place? And one of the things that you spend a ton of time talking about in your 30-day plan is Instagram. You say the quickest way to make money online is actually to spend money on ads, but in this hypothetical scenario, you're broke, so therefore you would focus on Instagram as your main platform. So my very first question is, why Instagram?
Not only did I write the book on Instagram, literally Instagram Secrets, so I'll tell you right now I'm a little bit biased, but I honestly believe if you don't have anything to work with and you have no social media audience whatsoever, you can't go to your Facebook page, your Facebook profile, Twitter. Does Pinterest still exist? I'm not so certain. But anyhow, if you go to Instagram and you look at the niche that you're going to be going after, whether it's travel, whether it's fitness, whether it's finance, whether it really doesn't matter. Once you select that niche, you can open an Instagram account that when people go to it, they'll actually see what you do. And it's not necessarily about your person, your personal brand. Here's about a business. And so when I wrote this 30 days out, I just selected the random Fitness Funnel Pros. That was a name that was available when we searched it up. It probably is still available right now. I doubt it will be available once people get off this call. But anyhow, I want the fitness people that are on Instagram, that are out there grinding their butt off, constantly putting out content, constantly putting out, lives and videos and teaching people how to become more healthy, but yet they have no bait, they have no hook, they have no way to get people on their list. And so I see them every day saying, DM me your email address so I can add you to my list. Now that's going to go back to trading your time for money, which that's a broken business model. So that's a lot of the reason why I chose that niche, because there's literally tens of thousands of fitness gurus around the world using Instagram's billion-plus user platform that need help leveraging all their content and hard work that they've done. So I'm going to open an Instagram account and just choose a very simple logo. I'm going to have a simple bio set up that talks about the benefits of what I do. And then because I have access to a ClickFunnels account, which that was part of this segment for 30 days, I'm going to have a very simple link that's going to send them. And there's two ways you can do this. I try not to get too complex in the 30-day writing, but you can go to a website like master-resellrights.com and look for something called private label rights. This was a game changer for me that nobody's talking about, and I don't know why. But what private label rights are there's ebooks, there's checklists, there's guides, there's video series that other people create, and they sell them to these websites for, I don't know what they sell them for, but the websites sell them back to us for like $5 and $7. So you can have a complete ebook for $9. You can have a complete ebook and video series where you don't need to have a product, because that's the number one objective that people, struggle with. I don't have a product. I don't have anything to sell. Well, go to PLR, private label right websites, pay $5 or $7 for this product, and then that's your bait. That's going to bring people into your funnel. So now what you do is you're going to go out and you're going to look for people in the fitness industry that are following big time fitness names or following big time fitness hashtags. And you can search this on Instagram so easy. And then you're going to do almost like a follow unfollow for a couple of days to bring people to your profile and get them to click on the link in the bio. And once you have an okay user base built up, and I'm only talking about a few hundred people, that's the myth that a lot of people think. They think that you need all these followers. Frank Kern, one of the greatest marketers of all time, doesn't have really hardly any followers, but he dominates when it comes to marketing online. So it's not about how many followers you have. It's about the solution you can provide the people that choose to follow you. And now once you have a few followers, go out to these fitness pages and don't go to big fitness pages. Don't go to these fitness gurus that have 100,000 followers, or they'll never see your actual DM that you're going to send them, your direct message. Pick these fitness people that have around 10,000 to maybe 50,000. 10,000 to 30,000 is a sweet spot, and there's a ton of them. And then shoot them a DM. And this is something that Russell taught in .com Secrets about. You build a funnel for another fitness person and they couldn't make the final payment. Tell them it's a $1,500 funnel, but you'll sell it to them for $750 by making the final payment. And it's really a very simple sale. And the way I write about this is we're going to do this for 50 people to get one sale. But if I DM 50 fitness gurus and I show them that I have a completely done-for-you sales funnel and I stack on the value like Expert Secrets talks about, and then I tell them that this message is going out to other people, if they act now, they'll be the first ones who get it. I know for a fact that anybody can sell one funnel for $750 to the 50 people that you message, and now you're no longer broke. So now you have $750 to work with, and we're going to reinvest, and you'll notice in almost everything I do in our actual business right now, our motto is we're not here to get rich fast. We want to get rich forever. And it's about not doing the fancy stuff until the fundamentals are just nailed. And the rinse and repeat formula of buying these shout outs from these Instagram influencers. And so now that you have the $750, because you'll be able to sell one funnel, guys, I promise you can do that, especially if you set it up the way Russell teaches you in 108 split test. I mean, I tell people all the time, what ClickFunnels has done, what Russell's done, what Todd's done, what they've done, if they've provided you guys the how-to. They provided me the how-to. But you know what you've got to bring to the table? You've got to bring the want-to table. If you want to, the how-to is out there. I mean, I'm still fairly brand new at this marketing stuff. I started on social media in 2014. I started online marketing in 2015. And in 2018, we won the 2 Comma Club Award. And so it's not the shortcut to success. I definitely took the long way by writing books and making every mistake imaginable and getting frustrated and shooting in different directions. But this formula right here, and this is genius by Russell, and I messaged him and told him that, but giving everyone the shortcut to success in 30 days, how can I get my business up and running? Because too many people give up too easily. They get addicted to distractions, so they go chase some other shiny object. Okay, but back to Instagram, guys. What makes Instagram so amazing is when you go to Facebook and you want an advertisement, not only do you have to figure out what all the targeting is and all the rules and regulations that are involved in the 20% text policy, but when you go to Instagram, you go to an actual Instagram influencer. And if we're going to stay in the fitness industry, which I switch mediums and I switch later on about motivation and goal setting, because that's just such an easy industry to make money on Instagram. But if you're going to go to these influencers, and the key is right now, influencer shout outs are crazy cheap, crazy inexpensive. And it's all because of supply and demand. Nobody's buying these things because nobody knows how to do it the right way yet. Everybody wants to run traffic to a paid offer, and that's not the way that you do it. You run traffic to a free opt-in through a private label right ebook that you get on master-resellrights.com or one of these other PLR ebooks, and then the fortune's always in the follow-up. And you can do all of this inside of ClickFunnels just with a couple clicks of a mouse, cutting and pasting and dragging and dropping. I mean, it's so simplistic. It's just crazy simple, which is part of the reason why the user interface is so great. But anyhow, so you're going to have these Instagram influencers personally recommend your private label right ebook or personally recommend a cheat sheet or a checklist. I mean, if it comes to fitness people, you could Google 10 common frustrations fitness gurus have. And when Google comes back with all these answers about the common frustrations or common mistakes, you could put together a simple cheat sheet. So say that you go look at 10 of these and you see about 8 or 9 of them the exact same thing over and over again, the common frustration. Well, odd numbers for some reason convert better. So pick 7, pick 5, pick 3, and that could be your download list to get people into your funnel to where you can follow up with them and set that coaching call or deliver value and show people, how I go later on that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyhow, the Instagram influencers, they're going to personally recommend your ebook or personally recommend your cheat sheet or your download, whatever it might be. And so when people are scrolling through Facebook, it's a sponsored post. Nobody wants advertised to. When someone's on Instagram, the influencer has loyalty, has trust, has credibility built up with all these hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions of followers. And so when the influencer says, go get this cheat sheet or go get this ebook, what do you think the followers are going to do? They're going to stop and they're going to do it because it's a word of mouth recommendation by somebody they trust, by a credible source that's promoting your products and getting people on your email list so that you can follow up. So that's why it's warm traffic. It's not cold traffic. It's not a sponsored post. It's a word of mouth recommendation. And the conversions on that are just insane by getting people on your list. And so I think that this is something that people are starting to hear more about. I know with the last Funnel Hacking Live, Russell was very strong on Instagram, and so that's the #1 social media platform he prefers. But it's just a gold mine of warm traffic by that personal recommendation, not dealing with Facebook's rules and regulations of 20% text or whatever else they come up with over there. And it's the shortcut to success and the fastest path really to financial certainty. If you're new at online, you're new at ClickFunnels, is get these private label right ebooks, connect with Instagram influencers. And for 500,000 followers, 600,000 followers, they're selling shout outs for $60. And so for $60, you can get, if you structure your funnel the right way, you can probably get 250 to 400 email leads for that $60 investment into the shout out. And now it's a rinse and repeat thing. And that doesn't exist on Google. It doesn't exist on Facebook for getting that many leads that quickly, which is going to happen in about 4 or 5 hours. It's just a game changer when it comes down to traffic and having celebrity endorsements by Instagram influencers that have spent a tremendous amount of time building their pages.
Okay, wow, that was a ton of information. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing all that about Instagram. I'm sure there's a ton of people out there, including myself, who've heard that Instagram is the new and upcoming social media platform that we should all be on, but we're not exactly sure how we should be using it. And to be honest, one of the things that's really striking about what you just said is how inexpensive those influencer shout outs are. Compared to the hundreds or thousands or more dollars that people are spending on Facebook ads, really, that's mind-blowing.
It's the supply and demand factor. And what happened about a year ago is you could have influencers drive traffic directly to paid offers and you can make money immediately. It was the instant gratification that almost everyone looks for. That doesn't work any longer. Now you have to send them to a free opt-in through an email list, deliver value, which again, just to keep plugging, ClickFunnels, but it's because we use this stuff. We learned the secret formula to the email sequence in funnel scripts. So we use all of this stuff, and it really is the simplest way to go to funnel scripts. Jim's done an incredible job of making that incredible easy as well, but go to funnel scripts, enter the information, the blanks, let funnel scripts spit out the stuff that goes in your emails, and then just let the email autoresponder do the work for you. Again, it's a rinse and repeat formula where you're not trading your time for money. And, even if you want to do these done for you funnels and you go to Funnel Scripts and they'll give you probably 60 amazing headlines for different funnels, 60 amazing headlines that, people can use in their advertisements. If you print out those 60 headlines and you send them to one of your prospects, or you send them to one of your customers that you did a done for you funnel from, and say, look, we were brainstorming, we have some amazing, complex software that we use to make certain that you have everything you need to be successful. Do you think that person's not going to come back to you with their mind blown and give you a ridiculously amazing testimonial, tell every one of their friends about you, and the next thing you know, you're the go-to person, all because of software that was created, and you literally took 20 minutes to fill out a questionnaire, clicked a button, and then something magical spit out awesome headlines for you? This stuff is easy, but I think I made it hard. I took the hard way when I started, but thank goodness, I hung in there long enough to get the results, and now I'm still obsessed with getting better every day.
All right, everybody listening out there, you heard Jeremy. If you don't have Funnel Scripts, get it. Okay, so now what I'd love to do is move on to the final days of your plan. We spent a lot of time talking about Instagram and how during this month you are going to be selling done for you funnels for a few $1,000s. But then what you say during the final week is that you are going to raise the price of your done for you funnels to $10,000 using urgency and scarcity to let people know that you'll be increasing the price and therefore get a surge in your sales. But that's only the first part of that strategy for the final week. The second part is that then you're going to be introducing a new done with you program. So I was wondering if you could explain overall what is happening during this final week of your 30 days and what the strategy and thinking is behind all of this.
Sure. One of the things that's kind of in between those two as well was when we talked about moving to the goal setting and the motivation niche and bundling private label right products and selling them as well. So make certain that you read. We worked really hard on this stuff to make certain that it was so easy for people to get through and finally have success with ClickFunnels, because I feel that I owe Russell and Todd and ClickFunnels an amazing debt of gratitude for what they've done for myself and my family, the freedom that we have now. But what I'm doing here is, if I'm going to go start building funnels for people, I'm trading my time for money. And that's a really hard thing to do. And so initially, you got to do what you got to do to kind of get going and get started. But now that I've built probably 5 or 6 funnels for people, I've charged anywhere from maybe $750 to a couple $1,000s. I have a little bit of revenue to work with. And I have an email list that I'm building up because I'm using private label rights to build my email list. I'm going to tell the people towards the end of the 30 days that this $1,500 or $3,000 sales funnel that we're building is going to go up to $10,000. And I'm going to show them all the value and probably some testimonials from people that we use Funnel Scripts to give them all these headlines and just case studies about how people finally have a real business model and about how they're not shooting in different directions and getting nowhere. And we're actually going to take that price to $10,000. I personally wouldn't build a funnel for someone right now for less than 10, way more than that. But anyhow, what we're trying to do here is leverage our time, and then we're going to need to bring some people in to help. I think that all too often people become successful and they don't invest in more traffic. They don't invest in a team. They go buy some silly stuff because they're new to making money or they're a little bit younger in business. And that's really a massive mistake. You've got to continue to build the foundation, again, to create that financial certainty. So I'm going to send some emails out that have real urgency and have real scarcity inside of them, telling them if you don't take this offer right now, the price is going to go up to $10,000. And that will easily get me out of the email list that I build up through running shoutouts on Instagram, several more done-for-you funnel clients that I'll be able to build their stuff out. And what I'm really looking to do is just overserve them like you would never imagine to get incredible testimonials. And again, it's all about the foundation of having your clients get results. If you can't send an email out to all your customers right now and ask them, could you please, shoot me a 30-second video about the results you've got from my products? Definitely go back and look at your business model and look at the value that you're bringing to the table, because there's so many people in this business. They're like shooting stars. They're getting a ton of attention. They're rising, but before you know it, they're going to fall out of the sky and be gone forever. So this really is a long-term play, a marathon when it comes to how we're building this business, even in the 30-day time frame. And so what's going to happen is we're going to get rid of the building one funnel for people for a few $1,000s, and we're going to do a group coaching type deal to where 10 people can get on probably Zoom calls, generally what we'll use, and we'll do a done with you model for $2,500 as opposed to a done for you model for the few $1,000s. And if people know that it's a $10,000 price tag to work with me one-on-one, but I can teach them how to do this stuff, so that way they can, if they want to build this stuff out for themselves, or so many people that I teach want to go start building this out for other people because it really helps their business model. And now we're going to have that email sequence with the real urgency, the real scarcity. We'll have a countdown clock on there that's super simple to drag and drop inside of ClickFunnels. And we probably should get maybe a dozen orders, if not more, for done-for-you funnels as that price goes up. But then when we follow up and say, look, we're going to introduce this $2,500 for a done-for-you system. I'm going to work with you on your traffic. I'm going to work with you on your marketing message. I'm going to work with you on all of your collateral. And most importantly, you're going to get to be a part of a mastermind where people from all around the world that are just like you, like-minded people, are going to share resources to what's working for them and then share some of the struggles they're having. So that way we can, instead of working competitively, work collectively. It's usually just a big win because it's a community. And I know, one of the things you asked about too was, why were we introducing a Facebook group into this as well? And that's kind of an odd component because I'm definitely known as the Instagram person. But the beauty of a Facebook group is you want to have as many ways as possible to touch your prospects or touch your clients, whether it be email, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook. And it's important to be in your Instagram stories. It's important to be live on your Facebook group and on your Instagram. I try to go live every day or every other day just so people get to know who they're working with. So often they think that people buy from a logo. They don't. People buy from someone that they can see, someone that they can understand their personality, someone that they actually feel like this person's entering the conversation that I'm having in my mind, and they don't even realize it, but yet they're providing solutions to issues that I'm dealing with right now. So if they ever make an offer, that's when they'll pounce on it. So I think that it's important to add a Facebook component with the Facebook group. And one of the things that we would do also would be spotlight fitness people and write short stories about what makes them so great. Because a lot of fitness people, they say your ego is not your amigo, but unfortunately it definitely is in fitness because they work so hard on their bodies, they work so hard on their diet. And so the more we can build them up, the more they're going to take our content and they're going to sponsor it on their pages, they're going to sponsor it on their Facebook groups or whatever it is, and they're going to send as many eyeballs as they can to look at them, but they're also going to be looking at you. And so it really is a web that we're creating that we just want to have as many touch points as humanly possible, and then we want to ascend them up our value ladder by adding more and adding more services. So the done-for-you funnel would come first, and then we would do a done with you. We would probably have a higher end done for you. But it really is just a way to continue to build your email list, continue to add value, use Instagram to run traffic through these influencers that already have tremendous credibility. And in a 30-day time frame, if you don't get addicted to distractions, if you don't spend major time on minor stuff, and you really hone in and you realize that you're going to have some frustrations and struggles, and you might reach out to 50 people and all of them might tell you no, well, you know what you do then? You reach out to 50 more. And that's the beauty, you don't stop until you figure it out. So often people think that when you fall down, that's when you grow, but when you stay down, that's when you die. And that's why I understand if you lose it all, if you're going through a setback, if you're trying to create a new opportunity for yourself and your family, this is definitely the way to do it if you want to create your own legacy and build your own financial freedom instead of work for somebody else, which so many people do.
That's fantastic advice, Jeremy. I'd like to thank you so much for sharing that today on our interview, along with all of the other things that you've shared. The truth is that we are coming close to our time right now. And so before we wrap this up, I would love to just ask if there's any final thoughts or words of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience.
It's almost something I mentioned with a little bit ago. What Russell does, and he found me. I didn't really find him. He found me somewhere on the internet. And I remember watching the funnel hacking live presentation that he gave on the webinar. And as soon as I finished watching that, everything changed in my mind about finally having success online, because I was trying like hell to get WordPress put together, to get payment processor put together, to try to get autoresponders put together. And I couldn't do it. And I was so incredibly frustrated. I would go home and my family just knew that I felt like I was drained. I was in defeat. I couldn't provide for them. I couldn't really feel like I had any significance, and I knew I had a great message. I just couldn't get that message to the world. And so when I watched that webinar, everything changed. And I called all of my smartest marketing online friends, and I said, oh my God, I just saw this incredible webinar. You will never believe what Similar Web offers. You will never believe how easy ClickFunnels made all this to work cohesively together. And all my friends said, yeah, that's great. We've heard of that too. And now I'm the person who is dominating in most of this space, and they're the people who used to be the gurus who haven't even scratched the surface. I guarantee you, a 2 Comma Club is nowhere in their future. And so constantly be someone who is eager to go find the information. The beautiful thing about the internet is it's leveled the playing field. Not just rich people have the information anymore. All of us do. But if you'll provide the want to, Russell, Todd, and his entire team are going to show you the how to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those final thoughts with us, Jeremy. For those of you watching at home, before you go, I want to tell you about how you can craft your own customized and personalized 30-day plan with the help and guidance of a ClickFunnels 2 Club coach. It's called the One Funnel Away Challenge, and you can click the button on this page to learn more and upgrade today for your opportunity to get on the 30-day path to success and getting your next award-winning funnel launched. But when you upgrade, that's not all you're going to be receiving. In fact, you're going to be able to snag some amazing bonuses, including a physical copy of the 30-Day Summit book, where we've put together all of the 30-day plans from all of the speakers on this event, unlimited access to the interview that you just watched with Jeremy, and of course, all of the other speakers on the 30-Day Summit, plus, and here's my favorite part, a second behind-the-scenes interview with every single speaker on this event, where they are showing me via screen share how it is that they have actually set up their award-winning 2 Club funnels. The value in those videos is absolutely out of this world, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So make sure that you click the button on this page to learn more about the One Funnel Away Challenge and sign up today. One more time, Jeremy, thank you so much for being a part of the summit. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.